Salem, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye, Ma. We're going down to Indianapolis today because, for those that might not know, Asiya and me, well, mostly Asiya, but me by association, she has a blood mutation called MTHFR, which makes her prone to blood clots when she's pregnant. We actually had a loss on our first child. We had a daughter named Selah, who unfortunately was found dead in the womb at 36 weeks. Not to make it a super sad story or anything, but we went on an infertility journey like nobody has ever seen before. I mean, you think Rocky Balboa is inspirational, you should have seen this girl. She was running 10 miles. It was like we could literally make a movie about the whole thing. She actually discovered a way to almost guarantee pregnancy. Like, it's a pretty big deal, and maybe while we get into it today, she'll bust out the camera when she's bored and tell you guys all the secrets.
Maybe we could also talk about challenges of high-risk pregnancy, because I did have to give myself shots every day.
Yeah, every day.
I'm on blood thinners. I'm on folate, which is activated version of folic acid. I am recommended to avoid all the food that has folic acid because my body cannot break it down, cannot methylate.
If she gets folic acid to help with her prenatal vitamins or whatever, she has to do the one that's methylated before she takes it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said a second ago.
No, that's not what you said.
No, that's exactly
You said
what
you can't process food that can't. Anyway, to wrap up Indianapolis, I didn't explain that part. So we go to Indianapolis because Asiya's OBGYN was there when we lost our daughter. She was there when our son Salem was born, and she's very understanding and empathetic and kind of lets Asiya do whatever she wants. So we drive 2 hours for this kind of service.
So after we lost our daughter, we went through infertility journey. We ended up getting pregnant, and we delivered a healthy baby boy, and I was induced with him at 37 weeks. We had moved to Chicago at that time, and I think I saw like 3 OBGYNs, and all of them were giving me a hard time and not allowing me to get induced. And I was like, skip that. I don't care if I have to drive 3 hours. So when we were pregnant with my son, we used to live in northern part of Chicago. So we drove 3 hours.
Yep. We used to live in a neighborhood called Rogers Park.
3.5 hours at times because of traffic. And towards the end of my pregnancy, we drove twice a week because they would do non-stress tests and all that stuff. So this is like piece of cake because right now
It's
we
2
only
hours.
drive 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
One
Technically, it's not Indianapolis. It's
Carmel.
Carmel, which is like the crown jewel of all of Indiana. It's like the Beverly Hills of Indiana. So we are on our way. Let the adventures begin. What you think about that B-roll, Sia? So, give your 3 steps to babies, like for real.
So a big disclaimer, I'm not an infertility doctor, nor am I OBGYN, nor do I have any kind of medical license. This is like solely me as a mere human being doing research and finding out what worked for me, and I'm just sharing my experience. So don't you copy me and then come after me suing me because I did not tell you to do nothing, okay? There you go.
Dang,
So,
that was the most cutthroat Russian disclaimer ever.
Yeah, I can sum it up in 3 things, right? 3 most important things. However, it's only for the women. If I cover the man, I have to talk more about it. I was never regular. I was like 45 days, 50 days, sometimes 30 days. I was all over the place. What helped me is this thing called Ovasitol. You can buy it on Amazon. It could replace like metformin. It's like a natural vitamins that help you to suppress your insulin resistance, because when you have high insulin resistance, your body cannot ovulate. So that's
step number 1?
Yeah, that's 1, Ovasitol. Second of all, you need to know when you ovulate, especially for women who have PCOS. They don't know when they ovulate because their body is so all over the place. And this traditional looking at the mucus thing does not work for them. Well, it didn't work for me. So what I did is I got OvuSense. And OvuSense is like this most magical thing in the world for women who are trying to get pregnant. It's basically this thermometer that goes up your vagina at nighttime.
Woohoo!
And then in the morning you get up and then sync it on your phone, and it draws you a nice like point on a graph.
Takes about a month's worth of data.
Yes.
And then based on a month's worth of data, it's able to project when your ovulation window is going to be.
Correct.
So it's just extremely accurate. It uses an app and an algorithm, and it's awesome.
The third thing is baking soda. A lot of women, the pH of their vaginal environment is really acidic, so it kills off all the sperm before they can swim up and meet the egg. So apparently what doctors used to do is they would do what's called post-coital test. So they would send the woman off to have sex with her husband, and then she would come back after 2 hours or so, and then the doctor microscopically would look at the sperm at her cervix. And if there's no living sperm there, what he would tell her to do is he would say, go douche with baking soda solution, or just put baking soda up your hoo-hoo, whatever.
Woohoo! Step number 1.
Ovasitol.
Step number 2.
OvuSense.
Step number 3.
Baking soda.
Now, some of the questions that I get a lot when I tell people about this, they say, what's the ratio of baking soda to water?
What I did, I can only tell you what I did. Literally, you take your pointing finger up to the first knuckle, you wet it, and you put it inside baking soda. So you get a bunch of baking soda over your finger or whatever, and then you kind of squat and put it up your hoo-hoo, and you kind of wipe around it. So all the baking soda kind of gets distributed all over your vaginal canal or whatever. And then you give it about 30 minutes. And then in 30 minutes, you'll see abundance of mucus. And that's when you go into intercourse.
Now, what about side effects?
Oh, there is side effects. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. I did have one side effect, but it wasn't enough to scare me or anything like that. These like pimples on my vagina, like just like maybe couple pimples, and I went to see a doctor and they said it's because of the change of pH of your vaginal canal. But like you just give it a week and it just goes away.
And also there's another side
if you
effect.
overuse it,
Girl, it burns. Tell them.
Yeah, if you overuse it and you don't wait 30 minutes until all the baking soda melted away, it burns the man.
And
the woman too.
So gotta make sure you wait the 30 minutes.
And just use it like twice during the cycle. Don't go crazy with it. Another side effect is that because baking soda makes your vaginal environment pH higher than normal or whatever, What it does is it tends to help women make more boys than girls. However, I have read a lot of women saying that it's not true, that they've used baking soda and they've actually given birth to girls. But in my experience, both times I used it, I got boys. I think it more has to do with when you have sex. So if you're trying to make a girl, they say that girl sperms, they survive longer, but they're slower to get to the egg. So what you want to do is, if you're trying for a girl, you want to have sex 2 days before ovulation and do not go near your husband the rest of the time.
So after we lost our daughter, we were struggling for over a year and a half before we could get pregnant again. You had endometriosis surgery. We used to drive 3.5 hours to an infertility specialist in Ohio. We saw so many doctors. Every month was like a tragedy. Like every single month that she had her period come, or she had a negative pregnancy test, it was just a nightmare. The craziest thing is that she discovered this Ovasense and baking soda, and in 1 month we got pregnant.
1 month.
We ended up having a miscarriage, which is like salt on the wound for
and
sure.
Then the next month we got pregnant.
But then the
again.
next month we got pregnant again with Salem, and we tried one time with baking soda and Ovasense
again for this pregnancy,
and we got Navi.
Pregnant the same month.
We tried for a year and a half. She was on Clomid. She was on doing Femara. She was doing all this stuff. She even went under the knife and had endometriosis surgery. None of it worked. Nothing worked. And then she does this baking soda, and it worked.
It's magic.
But like she said, my Russian lawyer over here, she said, don't believe anything we're telling you, because we don't want to get sued. Sia.
Yes.
Are you gonna bless my heart?
And what?
You know what? I mean, we're going to Indianapolis, so
just one word: Ethiopian.
We live in the Chicagoland area, and for whatever reason, the Ethiopian restaurants fail in comparison to this one in Indianapolis. We actually have to drive another 35 minutes from the doctor's office to get there, but it's the best. It's literally the best Ethiopian restaurant I've ever been to. Are you gonna take me there?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be my sugar mama? Will you pay for my meal?
Yes, but not only because you want to go there, it's because I want to go there.
Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you got a lot out of those 3 steps to ending infertility. And I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Moon Center.
Dang, man, it took you long enough.
Oh my gosh.
I called the restaurant and put in our order like 40 minutes ago. I told them we were 40 minutes away. We made it, guys. Hey, how's it going? So this might be a little awkward because we're in public. Luckily, there's not a lot of people over here. There are some guys back there. But Asiya was thinking maybe we could do a little mukbang, eat together, and talk on the camera for her channel. So I will definitely link that video beneath in the description box below. You want to definitely check out her channel, subscribe, and all that.
Oh.
Fresh honey wine.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh wow, this is a fresh honey one. Oh my gosh. Unbelievably good. Oh my gosh. Does it not look amazing?
Guys, you can't really see me and Asiya much because it's super dark outside. They sell the honey wine in bottle form, handmade honey wine. They make it from scratch for $20 a bottle. If you guys could subscribe and send me some good vibes, let's all see it in our minds. Jaren and Asiya and Aaliyah and our whole family, just YouTubers. Let's do it. All right, thanks guys. See you in the next video.